Alright, hey guys, it's Justin. Welcome back to CJ Farms. And we moved. We moved the entire ranch. Um, we're going to get into why right now. We started off bigger ranching in 2010. I was 10 years old. We bought a 30-acre ranch. We sold our 5-acre place in Missoula, Montana, where we had a motocross track set up. Dad was a professional in ATV motocross, and we were moving up quite a ways, and in that area of things, we had certain stuff rolling for us and everything like that, and Dad had a crash where he tore his shoulder out, and it wasn't like a first time deal. It had happened before, and so that kind of is what motivated him to be done with that. It was not basically that time in our life was kind of coming to a close, and we were okay with that, and we kind of had to be okay with that. And so our 5-acre place in Missoula, Montana, that had the motocross track, we leveled the track, and we got mini horses and rabbits and pigs. Like we did pigs one year in 4-H, and that was the first and the last time we had pigs on the 86 ranch, and that is, they didn't make it to fair. We got tired of them, and so then we kind of turned into this to a hobby farm where we had mini horses and big horses. We had a few miniature Hereford cows. We had 3 pairs actually, 3 pairs, and I think the bull we were just leasing at the time, but I think we ended up buying the bull once we got bigger. But anyways, that was all taking place from 2006-ish, 2007, all the way up to 2010. In October of 2010, we moved into a 30-acre ranch in St. Ignatius, Montana, and we grew a lot of stock there. We were there for 10 years. That was the base ranch. We leased other properties, and then later, oh man, I must have been in 6th or 7th grade. So in 2013, 14-ish, we bought our 80-acre field, and on that 80-acre field, it's I think it's almost right at a mile from our old homestead ranch. And on that 80, as you guys have seen through the years, we've had hay, we've had cows on it. That was kind of it was our bigger piece. We owned that 80, and then we owned that 30, right there in St. Ignatius, and then we leased countless of other acres of property, which we still have most of the leases. We let go of the Lakefield lease this year. After we got the hay off of Linderman, we were able to let that lease go. We were able to let some of this stuff go. We still own the 80, and I don't know how long we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it for a little while until we can find something up here. I have started the look and the search for property up here. I'm gonna try and get that stuff going again. As far as getting cows and everything, I was getting ready to get back into it, and then with this whole pandemic and everything else, it got crazy. Anyways, back to the moving thing. So anyways, we were there in St. Ignatius for 10 years. Well, 9 years, 10 years. It would have been 10 years in October. Anyways, last summer, if you guys can recall the videos from last summer, we bought 47 full-size heifers, and we were going to obviously, breed them, raise them, keep them going, and all that stuff, just like normal cow stuff. We outgrew our stuff. We live on a reservation where there is tribal leases available, and last fall, Dad and I, we registered for, I think, 3 different pieces. I think Dad registered for 4. Dad registered for 2, I registered for 2. And we didn't get them. We weren't able to get those tribal leases, unfortunately. It kind of works as like a silent auction deal if you have any idea, if you don't have an idea of what a tribal lease is or what it does. You're just leasing property that the tribe owns. It could be cattle ground, it could be farm ground, it could be woodland that you go. I don't know what the restrictions are for firewood or anything like that, but yeah, it's literally just leasing property like you would from a neighbor, but under the tribe. Anyways, so we didn't get any of those. We went through the winter. We were looking at a place actually in Hot Springs, Montana, and that place ended up not working out for us, and it was just not God's plan, not God's timing. This whole time, however, that we've been searching for properties, we had to list our ranch in St. Ignatius for sale, and it sold in 30 days. We still didn't have a place to go, so we were in the freak out mode. Quarantine had just started actually when we had sold our place, and so Dad also has a job still in Missoula. That's just the way it's got to be when you're trying to start a ranch. You gotta. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. If you don't have that steady income, you're not gonna. Unfortunately, you're not gonna make it unless you get started young in it, like I'm trying to, if that makes any sense. And even then, I've got another ranch hand job that I go to in the mornings, and I move pipe there and do chores there, and then I come home and I move pipe here and I do chores here. I'm going from 6 in the morning till about 11 at night. That's been my schedule so far this summer. It's crazy, but it's getting stuff done, so I can't complain. Anyways, so we sold the place, and the new owners moved in. We had to be out by April 15th. The new owners were in there by like the 17th or something like that. It was just a couple days. But the people that moved in, they don't have livestock. They have cats. That's about it. But they don't have livestock, so we were able to rent back our old place. That means the pasture, the barn, everything, obviously, except for like the yard and the house. And so for a timeline perspective, that happened on April 15th. We had to leave. We ended up moving into a trailer house in town. Still had all the animals at the old property, at the barn is what we were calling it. And it was a crazy 2 months, because then on June 15th, through all this time, we kept looking, and we had our eyes set on another place in Ronan, and we ended up being able to buy this place, and we just closed on it on, gosh, what was that? Look at my calendar. It's been a few weeks now. I think it's been 3 weeks, I think, roughly. Yeah, we've owned this place for 3 weeks. And now I'm going to include some drone video and picture and stuff of the place. It's 120 acres. It's got above ground main line. And so what that basically means is for irrigation, I can pretty much throw out the pipe wherever the heck I want on here because it's not buried in the ground. When it's buried mainline, you kind of have a restriction. You can't really get to certain areas unless you get really creative. And when you get really creative, stuff kind of gets broke and bent and stuff just because it's not being used the way it's designed, if you will. But you make stuff happen. You got to get the water on the ground. That's what matters. So anyways, we're up here. We got above ground mainline. We have the 40-acre field, alfalfa field. And in fact, back to my spraying video, I said that we had a new lease. I wasn't lying to you guys. We were leasing this, and we were leasing all the property. We were renting the house up until we closed for buying it. So I did not lie to you guys. It was a lease for that time that we were doing the spraying and the weeds and stuff. And yeah, so we got basically the whole north side of the property is on flood irrigation, and the south side is all irrigation pipe. We got a wheel line on the 40-acre alfalfa field. We already went and got the first cutting. We had 50-some bales off the first cutting. It's not as much as we were hoping, but at the same time, with all the craziness that was going on, I'm happy that we were able to get the field cut and baled. At the end of the day, that's what matters. And so, yeah, we moved all the miniature Herefords up, which the next video will be trailering the mini Herefords up here. I actually blew a tire on camera on the trailer, so it was pretty cool to watch. I'm sure the cows didn't think it was very cool, but oh well. So we moved all the minis up, and they've been up here for a month or two now. Yeah, we're getting all moved in. We still have a lot of stuff there in the shop at the old place, and we're still kind of moving. And this new place that we're at, we got the regular house. It's just a single story house. Back in St. Ignatius, we had a house and we had the basement, and I pretty much was quote unquote living in the basement, you could say. And now up here they got the main house. It's just single story house, single floor house, and then just to the north of it, probably 4 steps, is a small bunkhouse that I'm living in right now. And yeah, it's pretty neat. I got heat in here. The last couple days have been super hot, so I've had the door and the window kicked open, had fans going. It's stayed pretty cool. My dog Diesel, he really likes it in here. And yeah, so my bed is actually still in storage. When my family had to move into the trailer house in town, we were cabbing over there at the 80. And I've got a cabin that I won in a raffle in between my 8th grade and freshman year. And so I was living in my cabin, not kidding you, from March till June. I was living out of my cabin. Obviously no heat or electricity in there. So basically for charging my phone and stuff, what I had to do is I had to take our car jump box, and I would charge it every day during the day. And it has a USB for my phone cord, and so that's what I would use. We took all the corrals and the chute and stuff out of the old barn, moved it over there, and I had to pull a couple calves this year, and that came in really handy. I saved some calves this year because of having those pens over there, and I'm very grateful for that. We also did all of our spring vaccinations over there. We loaded the cows out of there, not the minis, but well, we did load the minis out of there after they'd calved. I didn't video that. Stuff was just crazy, and that's why I didn't video any of this as it was going on. It was crazy, not only the pandemic and everything, because everybody was pretty much affected by that, but everything else that was going on for our family, it was hard. We endured a couple of hard months, and you know, it ultimately made us all stronger. Brought us all together. I feel way stronger than we were before. And yeah, we made it through. Yeah, we made it through, and only by the help of God we made it through. Just straight up. It was pretty crazy. And yeah. So anyways, we're all moved up here now. We still have the full-size cows down there at the 80. And at the barn at the old house, and I still go down there and I move pipe at the old house, and I move the flood tarps at the 80 every day, and I also move all the pipe here every day, checking on the cows and everything like that. And yeah, so I was living in my cabin for 3 months, and then once we moved up here, that was actually the end of our cabbing. So I came up, moved basically my cabin stuff into here. I had a desk, and I moved my other desk from my old house up here. So I got 2 desks in here. One desk has a microwave on it, and the other one's got my computer, my editing station. And then I had my cot in my cabin, and I just moved my cot up here. My bed is still in our shop in storage, and so is a lot of my stuff. And that's why I was living in the cabin, because the trailer house was small enough that basically my mom, my dad, and my siblings could live in the house. And we were about probably 15 or 20 minutes away from the 80, so that's why I was staying there for cabbing, because driving back and forth, it was going to be way too expensive and way too much risk being on the road. all hours of the night. And so I was pretty much captaining that at that point, and I still had to finish out feeding there and all that. But it went good. It went smooth, as smooth as it could have gone, in my opinion. Anyway, we're here now. I still have some stuff I gotta move up here, but we're set up. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm looking at properties. I don't know how it's gonna look. Nobody really does right now. In fact, I still haven't even gone to the FSA about it. I haven't written out an idea. I'm just looking at stuff, kind of letting stuff settle down after the move. This fall, I'm gonna get on it and try and get stuff moving. Right now, I'm still irrigating. Like I said, I'm still making hay. We still got a lot of stuff rolling. And speaking of making hay, I did not video the first cutting on that alfalfa field because it was still super crazy and I didn't want to confuse anything. I wanted to make a clean break, make a clean start video, just like this one, announcing the move and announcing everything that went on in behind the scenes, behind closed doors, anything you want to say about that. So, yeah, there it is, guys. E6 Ranch has grown by 90 acres. We sold, like I said, we sold our old ranch in St. Ignatius. We still have our 80, and we bought this 120 acre ranch up here. And yeah, we're going from there. We're building. It's necessary growth that had to happen. So I'm not upset that this had to happen. The timing for everything was just crazy this year. As you guys all know, I mean, you guys all took part in it too. But it's kind of funny because people, my friends at church and stuff, they were, they kind of talk about how the pandemic had affected them and stuff. And personally, it didn't really affect much, judging by the time of year, because I started calving. Literally, the first calf was born like 3 days before quarantine started, and the last calf was born, like I said, just a few days before we moved. So literally the entirety of quarantine, I would have been absent from the outside world anyways, so it really didn't do much for me. It didn't take away or add to anything. The only difference is going into town for fuel was kind of a ghost town. It was kind of weird. But yeah, I remember going to Missoula with Dad one day. We were getting some moving boxes, and we went to Missoula at like 10 or 11. And usually, if you're from Montana, you know that Missoula's crazy. We went down there at 10 or 11. We were literally the only truck on the entire road going all the way through Missoula, all the way to Home Depot. It was weird. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Anyway, yeah, it was pretty wild. Anyways, so we're good now. We're getting stuff settled in. Like I said, I'm still moving stuff when I have free time, which unfortunately right now is not that often, but we're making it happen. And I'm really excited to be growing and excited to take you guys along on this journey. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, pretty pumped about it, and excited to show you guys what all is going down. Dad was actually out today. He took this week off, and he was out today rebuilding some of the corral stuff, and I'm super excited to show you guys this new corral system. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. I can't. Anyways, so as far as other buildings, we got a barn which was used as like a horse barn where they would bring the horses in to fit them. This place, the people who owned it were getting big into rodeo, and so they were gone a lot of the time. So there's some just rundown stuff that we have to take care of. I've been fixing fences since day one, since we got here. Been out tightening them, rebuilding fences, all that fun stuff. There's another little lean-to barn that Dad and I are gonna build into an actual barn. So right now it's just a lean-to, and inside that lean-to there's a couple little stall areas that the girls were putting there. 4-H animals in, and in one of the stalls there's a head catch and pulling chains for like a calving setup deal. And so we're just going to continue making the barn on the other side of that lean-to. I'll show you guys as time goes on what exactly I mean, and I'm super excited to have you guys along on these videos for building structures and getting stuff rebuilt and getting stuff put how we want it. And it's going to be pretty unique because at the old house, by the time I started my YouTube, we already had all of our stuff almost figured out. We didn't really add on or build new things when I started my YouTube channel. In fact, the winter before I started my YouTube channel, we built the shop. So that was kind of the last thing that we built there, really. And so I didn't really get to video that. If you guys can recall, it was still gravel floor in the shop. We didn't get to put concrete floor in. But anyways, after the video of moving the cows up, I plan on giving you guys an actual kind of a property tour, showing you guys kind of from the outside in, like what everything looks like right now. And as we rebuild stuff, I'm looking forward to making videos on that, showing you guys the process. And then I'm also looking forward to making these videos and then being able to go back in another 5 years and watch these videos and look at how far we've come with this new ranch, this new place. Super excited about that. And yeah, so anyways, you guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I wanted to get it out there, let you guys know that we did move. And yeah, I didn't say anything on social media. I didn't say anything on Instagram, Snapchat, anything like that. I didn't say anything to you guys because I wanted it to be a complete surprise. That's also why a lot of the stuff that I've had going on has been kind of neglected, like my Power Stroke. We haven't done anything on that because we haven't had anywhere to do anything on that. And then for example, trying to get stuff going for my own cow herd, or herd of cows, however you want to say it. We didn't have anywhere to put them. I didn't have anything, so it was just basically putting our heads down and making it through, making it work, making it happen. And we did. We made it happen. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited to take you guys along on this journey and get stuff rolling. And yeah, so thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, please subscribe, and yeah, join me on this journey.